Allah is my heart's speech, your mercy is what I beseech. Keep in my heart your remembrance, and in your deen allow me to advance. Help me in my quest, permit me to pass the ultimate test. Help me in my quest, permit me to pass the ultimate test.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على المبعوث رحمة للعالمين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Dear brothers and sisters in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to this new episode of Ask Huda, broadcasting to you live from Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. And you will see, as usual, at the bottom of the screen the numbers to call displayed, inshallah, and I'll try my level best to answer your questions. And before we receive your first caller, Lara sent us an email saying that how to be more responsible in my life, from where to start. Now this requires a whole lecture, because the word responsibility is quite huge, and you can put under it everything in life. The Prophet says, alayhi salam, kullukum ra', each one of you is a shepherd, and he is responsible for his flock or for his herd. So each one of us has responsibilities, though we do have rights as well. But these responsibilities are many. That is why when you say, what are my responsibilities in life and where would I start? This is a difficult question to answer. However, we know that our prerogative in life is to worship Allah, to live this life and to do our time on earth and then end up in paradise for eternity. This is our objective in life. There's no doubt in any Muslim's mind. Maybe they're a little bit diverted from the straight path, maybe they're misguided a little bit here and there, but at the end of the day, when they sit with themselves, they know that this is their objective, to enter Jannah. And you cannot enter paradise without fulfilling the commandments of Allah Azza wa Jal and staying away from what He had prohibited upon you. But at the same time, you have to live your life on earth. So you have to work, you have to study, you have to get married, you have to socialize with others, you have relatives, you have acquaintances, and everything has responsibilities. So the best thing that would highlight how you should live your life is the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, when he advised Abdullah ibn Amr ibn al-As, may Allah be pleased with him and with his father. And he used to fast all day long, not skip a day. Every single day he used to fast. And he used to pray all night long, rarely sleep at night. So his day and night, both are engaged in worshipping Allah full time. So the Prophet told him, ﷺ, these beautiful words that if we would to write it in gold, that would not be something of extravagance, because it is something worth noting. The Prophet told him, ﷺ, your Lord, Allah Azza wa Jal, has rights over you. Your family, that is wife and children, have rights over you. Your guest has rights over you. Your own body, your health, has rights over you. So give each its due right. These responsibilities you have to balance and you have to prioritize. So if someone says, I'd like to just simply worship Allah Azza wa Jal in a mosque, in a masjid, and do nothing else but pray and make dhikr, and who will feed you? Who will take care of your children? How will you be able to get married? All these questions need answers. So you have to balance. You have to work to earn money, and you have to worship Allah as He commanded you, and you have to socialize with guests and relatives, because you can't live alone. You're not on an island on your own. And at the same time, you have to take care of your health, of your medical condition, and not simply just throw it all down the drain. Once you can attain this balance, then you would be the happiest person on earth, and you would be fulfilling what Allah Azza wa Jal has ordered you to do. Uthman, or Usman as he spells it, he says, is it compulsory for one to say salam when he enters the masjid and when he is leaving? The answer is no, and this is the short answer. Is it compulsory? No. And usually you don't have to elaborate, because the person is asking, am I sinful if I don't give salam or not? And the answer is no, you're not sinful. Okay, is it recommended or not? This is a different question. The most authentic opinion is that it has nothing to do with entering the masjid, giving salam, saying assalamu alaikum. Unless it's for the imam on a Friday before he goes to give his sermon, it is not mandatory, it is not recommended, depending on whom you meet. So if I enter the masjid and I meet someone and I say assalamu alaikum, this is okay, because I want to greet him, I want to speak to him. But what some people do by entering the masjid from the door or the gates of the masjid, say assalamu alaikum, and those who are praying, those who are reciting the Quran, those who are making dhikr, they're being obliged, those who are making dua, he interrupts them so that at least some of them would answer him back. No, this is wrong. So is it mandatory? No, it is not. Is it sunnah? Depending if you're meeting someone. So if you come and enter the masjid, you have to pray 2 rak'ahs before you sit down. Afterwards, if you see someone and you give him salam, this is permissible, and the evidence of it is the hadith of the man who came and prayed 2 rak'ahs, and the Prophet told and came to the Prophet ﷺ and gave him salam, and the Prophet said, go back and pray because you haven't prayed. So it indicates that the man first started with prayer, which is obligatory, then he came and gave salam to the Prophet ﷺ. We have Ashsaq from the Emirates. Ashsaq from Emirates.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Am I pronouncing your name correctly?
Ashfaq, yes, you're right.
Ashfaq, okay.
Ashfaq. How are you, Sheikh?
I'm fine. Hayyakallah akhi.
Sheikh, I have a question. I work here for a private hospital in a purchasing department.
Okay.
My question is it permissible for me to accept the gifts, which is usually they bring it to the year end? Is it permissible for me to or not to purchase?
Okay, I will answer your question. Any more questions, Ashfaq?
Jazakallah khair.
Wa jazak, hayyakallah akhi. Brother Ashfaq asks the question that most Muslims who have a living heart and a righteous conscience in the procurement department usually ask. The procurement department or the purchasing department usually it's the most affected department in the private sector, where they are given and offered bribes. Because if you buy from me, then I make my target, so I would do anything so that you would buy from me. So I come to you and I tell you that we have this product XYZ and we are selling it, and you say, yeah, okay, let me think of it. I have to get 2 or 3 different quotations from different vendors and other companies. So to cut a long story short, you say, okay, you have the right to do this, but here is a ticket for 2, full board, to Sharm el-Sheikh in Egypt to attend a conference of 1 day. And you can stay there for 3 days. This is not a bribe, definitely. No, we're just giving you a training course that would help you and help your company. And the person will say, wow, first class? Or said, yeah, no, it's business class. Business class, that's first, not economy. And you take it, definitely when you come back, you're going to give them the contract. The question, Ashfaq Bhai, you should ask yourself is, this gift given to you, if you were in the HR department, or if you were in the security department or safety, would anybody give you any gift? The answer is no. If you did not work in the company altogether, would anybody would give you any gift? The answer is no. And this is exactly what the Prophet asked, alayhi salatu wasalam, ibn al-Lutbiyah, may Allah be pleased with him, who was responsible for collecting zakat. And he came to the Prophet ﷺ and said, this is for you, this is the zakat, and this was given to me. So the Prophet told him ﷺ, would you have sit in your mother's house and see would people give you or not? And this indicates that it is a gift because of your position, not because of the color of your eyes or how handsome you are. And therefore, no, akhi, you're not allowed to accept any gifts at all. We have Ahsan from Pakistan.
Yes, assalamu alaikum, brother.
Salam wa
Yes,
rahmatullahi
how
wa
are you?
barakatuh. Hayyak Allah, akhi.
Okay, I have a question. In Pakistan, the way we pray when we stand up for prayers, it's regarding how we hold our hands. I was watching watching Huda TV, Sheikh Abdul Rahim Mathati. He said that in Pakistan we are taught to fold our hands maybe on the navel or just below the navel. And I was told that that's not right. You're supposed to fold your hands on the chest. So can you please elaborate on this? Because in Pakistan, according to the Hanafi school of thought, we are told to fold our hands on or just below the navel.
Okay.
So which is the correct way to do it? And one more question. My wife also has a question.
Yes.
Can they make their eyebrows? Can they shape it or pluck it, or is that allowed?
Okay.
According in yes.
I will answer you, inshallah. Okay. Ahsan from Pakistan is asking a question about folding the hands while standing in prayers. Is it supposed to be below the navel or above the navel or on the chest? The hadith of Wa'il ibn Hujr, may Allah be pleased with him, the companion of the Prophet ﷺ, tells us that the Prophet, whenever he stood for prayer, sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam, he used to fold his hand and put the right over the left on the chest. And this hadith was authenticated by Imam al-Albani. So we have to, if we were fair, we have to look at the ahadith that stated that he used to put it under or beneath the navel. Is it authentic or not? And it is not authentic. And this hadith is Hasan hadith, putting it on the chest. So whether you put it on here, on your stomach, above the navel, this whole area is considered to be part of your chest. You can put that without any problem, inshallah, and there is no need to make an issue out of it. The people in Pakistan, especially the Hanafi brothers, may Allah bless them, they are strong and committed to their madhab, which is okay. But to the extent that a brother called me a few days ago from Pakistan, and he's telling me that whenever he prays in his masjid, while he's praying the sunnah and folding his hands over his chest, the imam speaks through the microphone and he points out at him and look at this ignorant, he is going against the sunnah, he is doing this, he's doing that. Whoever prays like this is forbidden from entering my masjid. Ya akhi, is it your masjid, you ignorant twit? With all due respect, is it your masjid? This is the house of Allah. You have no right to prevent someone who is praying because he differs with you in a fiqhi issue to prevent him from entering the masjid. On the contrary, he is following the sunnah and you're not. He's following a hadith. On the day of judgment, you will say, well, my imam said so and so. The man will say, my prophet said so and so, and I followed him. So this ignorance, unfortunately, we have imams who are like this, leading prayer in masjids, in Pakistan, in India, in Saudi Arabia as well, who don't know nothing, but they were put in such a position to give rulings and to follow their own whims and desires. They're not plenty, alhamdulillah, they're few. But to do this, or to have the elders in the masjid scold you and talk to you just because you're 20 or 25 years of age and you're following the sunnah and say, no, you don't pray like this. Why, ya akhi? I'm praying to Allah or to you. If you guys are like a herd of cows and camels following your leader, we are following our Prophet, Allahumma salli wa sallim alayhi. So this should not be an issue. Your second question, I will answer it inshallah, Ahsan Bhai. We have Muhammad from Saudi Arabia.
Assalamu alaikum.
Salam wa rahmatullah.
my question is about the namaz janaza.
Okay.
Sometime we are late and we miss two takbir of imam. So we join the namaz janaza, and after one takbir, imam is saying Assalamu alaikum. Then what shall we do? We will be with complete it one with the salam and out of the janazah prayer, or shall we wait? What action we have to do?
Okay, I will answer you, inshallah.
Second question is there. In lot of people who usually came from means India and Pakistan, when they pray in Makkah, Haram, so when the Imam says Salaam Alaikum to the right side, they also move to say Salaam Alaikum, and when Imam say to the left side, they say Salaam Alaikum. Is right, or shall we wait? The Imam has to complete both the Salam, and we have to make it and complete our Salah.
I will answer you, inshallah, Muhammad.
Thank you.
Hayyak Allah akhi. Brother Ahsan from Pakistan was asking about the ruling on plucking the eyebrows for women, cutting it short, shaving it, whatever. Is it permissible? The answer is no. The Prophet ﷺ told us that this is a major sin, and he cursed the ones who have it done to them, and the one who is working in the beauty parlor herself, who does it to other women. And he said that they are cursed by Allah Azza wa Jal. In the hadith of Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, may Allah be pleased with him. So it is a major sin, and it is totally prohibited. A woman has an alternative, and that is she can bleach her eyebrows. So it would not look as bad as it does now. But cutting it, shaving it, plucking it, this is totally prohibited, except if it is too long and it's entering in her eye and hindering her vision or harming her. In this case, yes, she may only cut the area that is long. Muhammad has two questions, and he says that if I'm praying Salat al-Janazah and I missed 1 or 2 or 3 takbir, what should I do? Well, you join the Imam and you begin from the very beginning. So you begin with the Fatiha, then you offer the salutation on the Prophet ﷺ in the second takbir. The third takbir, you make dua for the deceased. The fourth takbir, you just give a small pause and you offer salam. So if you join the Imam in the fourth takbir, so you start with the Fatiha. If he offers salam, before they remove the body, you can finish the second, third, fourth, and offer salam as well. So it doesn't take more than a minute and a half at most. This would not be sufficient for them to go and move the body. You can finish your prayer quickly, inshallah. Latifa from Saudi.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
I have a question to follow up what you mentioned about where to place the hands, where one should place the hands in Salat. My son, I'm American, and my son attended a university where he was taught to was stronger to put your hands down and keep your hands down by your side while you're making Salat. And I would like to know what the ruling is on that, please.
Where is he going to university? Morocco, Mauritania?
No. He attended Hartford Seminary, which has a program for Muslim clerics.
Okay, I will answer your question, inshallah. Muhammad's second question was that the people from the subcontinent, usually whether in Haram or elsewhere, when the Imam offers the first salam by saying Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, they immediately follow him, mimicking him. They also give Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, and they wait until he turns to the left and say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, and then they do that. Is this right? The answer is no. They should wait until the Imam finishes the second taslim, then they begin to the right and then to the left, not following him, and this is against the sunnah. Now, Latifa is saying that her son attended a seminar or a course in Harvard, Matt, and probably, and they taught him to pray according to the Maliki madhab and not the original Maliki madhab. See, Malik, at one stage of his life, he used to pray putting his hands by his side, not on his chest. Though he reported the hadith that the sunnah is to put the right on the left on the chest. Why did he do this? Because at one point of his life, he was tortured by the ruler. And he was beaten so bad, he could not lift and raise his hands to put them on his chest. So he used to put them by his sides. And by the way, putting the right on the left on the chest, it's a sunnah. Meaning, if I don't want to do this, I just want to put my hands by my sides and pray the whole prayer like this. What is the ruling on it? The prayer is valid. The prayer is correct. You have no problem in that, none whatsoever. However, you are losing a great deal of reward. You are losing a great deal of sunnah because you're not following the Prophet ﷺ. And this is where we should follow the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. We have a short break. Stay tuned, and inshallah, we'll be right back. Assalamu alaikum and welcome back. That was a very short coffee break. Now, Latifa says that her son has been taught differently. My sister, Islam is so big and huge, and there are many different schools of thought. And this is why Allah tells us in the Quran that whenever there's a dispute, whenever you differ in something, refer it back to the Quran and to the Sunnah, to Allah and to His Messenger, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That is why when I see someone praying like this, and another one putting his hands under his navel, and the other one is putting his hand on his chest, this is not how the Prophet prayed, alayhi salatu wasalam. So how would I know which one is right? I have to go back to the Quran and to the Sunnah. The Sunnah is the Ark of Noah at the time of floods. If you get on it, you'll be saved. If you decide to swim, you'll drown. So by abiding by the Sunnah, by going back to the fundamentals, the Quran and the Sunnah, to going back to the original sources that preserve the deen, then inshallah you'll be in safe hands. We have a question from Ubaid. He says, if a person apostates and comes back to Islam the same day, should he tell his wife or marriage contract remains as it is and he should keep it secret? Most likely, Ubaid, such a person is suffering from a severe case of OCD. Nobody apostates in the morning and then in the evening says, hey, what's happening? I'm back to Islam. Usually these are thoughts controlled by Satan, and people are being played by Satan in such a fashion. Therefore, I have to know what was that act that you consider to be an act of apostasy, because there are things that prevent an act of apostasy from taking place. You see a lot of people giving takfir. So this guy is a kafir. This guy is a kafir. He's an apostate. He is a murtad. Why do you say such a thing? Well, first of all, you have to look into the things that prevent from giving a person such a label, such as, 1, maybe he's ignorant. 2, maybe he was forced to say it. 3, maybe he was misinterpreting. Maybe he did it by mistake. He wasn't intending to do it. It was a mistake. Someone is walking and he steps over a mushaf, over a Quran. He committed an act of apostasy. He didn't know. He did it by mistake, unintentional. So these things we have to know and understand in order to answer the question. But most likely, Ubaid, this is an OCD case, and his wife is still his wife. He doesn't have to go to that level, inshallah. Muhammad from Oman.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
Yeah, how are you, sir?
I'm fine, Muhammad. Hayyak Allah.
So I have a question. My father had died 5 years back.
Okay.
So sometimes I saw him in dreams. So what to do? What Islam suggests us to for these kind of things?
Okay. Any more questions?
No, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. I will answer, inshallah, your questions. Muhammad from Oman says that his father died 5 years ago. May Allah have mercy on his soul and on the souls of all the Muslims who had died. And he says sometimes he sees him in a dream. So what does that mean? First of all, this can be your subconscious reminding you of your father. See, when you're applying for a job with a very big salary and a paycheck, and you are hoping that you will be accepted, very good position, you see in your dream 2-3 times a day that you've got the position and that you're enjoying the car of the company with a chauffeur, taking you places, and you wake up. This is your subconscious. So it can be this, and it also can be that this is a reminder to give charity on behalf of your father, to do good deeds on behalf of your father, such as asking Allah for forgiveness, making umrah, making hajj, giving charity to the poor. All of this would reach your father with the grace of Allah, inshallah. Leela from Saudi. Listen to me from the phone, please. Mute your TV.
Sir. Hello, sir.
Yes.
Lily from Saudi Arabia, sir.
Yes.
About transfer the Islam of Muslim, they good for me or?
Are you Muslim, Leela? Leela, are you Muslim?
No, sir. I'm Filipino, but my madam asked me to.
Okay. How do you feel about it? How do you feel about coming to Islam?
So I will transfer to Islam, sir.
Of course.
It's good.
What do you expect me to tell you? I'm selling it. Do you expect me to tell you it's bad? It's the only religion that does not require you to go to a pope asking for forgiveness. It is the only religion that gives you the right to communicate with your Lord. It's the only religion where you do not need to be from a caste or from a race to enter Jannah. It's your good deeds, and it's the only religion that gives you peace of mind. So definitely you should think about it, and it's very easy to come into Islam. All what you have to say is, I believe that there is no God worthy of being worshipped except Allah, and that Muhammad is his messenger.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
You're quite welcome. Think about it and don't delay it. We have Farhat from Saudi.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Salam to Allah.
Sheikh, I wanted to ask, can we give the sadaqah or the zakat money to a person who is a Sayyid?
Okay, I will answer your question, inshallah.
Okay, Jazakallah khair.
Jazakum. Leela's question was not actually a question. Probably her boss told her to call, and she's interested and keen in her getting into Islam. And she should think, and this is an open invitation to all non-Muslims. Islam is the last religion of Allah the Almighty. Islam is the most authentic religion of Allah. It's the only religion that its scripture is exactly as it was revealed 14 centuries ago. Not a single letter changed. And we have it not only in books, but hundreds of millions memorize it by heart. And if you objectively study Islam, out of 100, you will not find anything that you think is not logical or natural, maybe except 1 or 2, and I could easily clarify that for you. So think about it, and you can call in whenever you want or send me an email, and I will inshallah try my level best to explain that to you. Farhat says, can we give zakat or charity to Sayyid? What is a Sayyid? A Sayyid is a descendant of the Prophet's ﷺ offspring. So usually a Sayyid is the son or a daughter of Hassan or al-Hussein, the grandsons of the Prophet ﷺ, who were the sons of Ali ibn Abi Talib, and their mother was Fatima bint Muhammad, may Allah be pleased with them all. So we know that sadaqah, charity, it cannot be given to them, because charity is means of cleansing the wealth of the people. So the offspring of the Prophet ﷺ, the descendants of the Prophet ﷺ, are of a higher level to receive such filth from the people, which is charity. That is why they have their own portion in the treasury of the Muslims. They have a specific percentage to be given to them and for their welfare. However, Ibn Taymiyyah says that if in a country they were deprived from their rights in the treasury of the Muslims, like almost all Muslim countries, they don't give them their due right. In this case, if they are needy and they are poor, in this case, it is permissible to give them from the zakat, and they can take from it as well, inshallah. Aisha from Saudi.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Salamtullah.
I have 4 questions.
Okay.
Can I ask?
Yes.
First question is, my son was playing cricket and he told his friend to go and bring the cricket ball back while playing. But he threw it in a way that it got lost. So can he take back the cost of the ball from him?
He's the thrower?
He is outside. He is not playing with my son. He just say, give me a back ball.
Okay.
So he throw in a way that ball is get lost.
Okay.
Got lost.
Second question.
And my second question is, if the kid makes something while playing, like food and anything, so we compliment him for the sake his happiness, for the sake of only for his happiness. So is it considered as lying or not?
I did not understand your question.
If my 10-year-old daughter playing and make something like food and anything else, so we compliment him for the sake of her happiness. So is it considered as lying or not?
Did he make food or he just
food while playing for the like buy her toys, he playing something and make food.
Okay.
Mama, check
okay.
it like this.
Third question.
My third question is, in the hereafter, people will able to speak by their tongues, or they only talk by their limbs or skins? Able to talk by their tongues also? Okay. And my fourth question is, can we make dua for a living person to go to haram only for this intention? This person is alive and we go to make dua for this person to haram.
Okay. I will answer your questions, inshallah. Aisha's first question, her son is playing cricket. He took a ball, or someone took a ball, and they apparently borrowed it from the owner, and they've lost it. So what to do? They have to give it back physically or something similar to it. Because when you take something and you borrow it, then it is in your protection and you take it as a loan. If it's gone, if it's burnt or whatever, you have to return it physically or something that is equivalent to it. If the son or the daughter are making toys, you know, they're playing with the toys, and they make cakes and tea, and they give it to you, and you pretend that you're eating and drinking something that is imaginary, there's nothing wrong in that, inshallah. The people on the Day of Judgment, do they speak with their tongues or only with their skin and limbs? Everything will speak. But usually, yes, they will speak with their tongues, but when they lie, Allah Azza wa Jal makes their feet, their arms, their bodies, their skin speak and testify against them. So they would say to their limbs and skins, we were trying to protect you. Why do you expose us like this? Because they say Allah Azza wa Jal made us say the truth. And is it permissible for us to give dua to someone who's alive, that Allah grants him the ability to go to the haram? You can make dua as much as you want. There is no problem in that, inshallah. Amina from Gambia. Okay, I think we lost Amina. Amatullah says, my daughter is 10 and not yet gotten her period. Alhamdulillah, she's been praying regularly since the age of 7, and she's big for a 10-year-old and has hair on her body. My question is, does she need to clean that hair in order to be clean for salah like all adults? First of all, this is a misconception among the people. They think that the pubic hair and the armpit hair would hinder the acceptance of your prayer, and it has nothing to do with your prayer. Yes, in Islam we're ordered to remove the hair of the armpit and of the pubic hair, and we are not allowed to make it long, but it has nothing to do with the validity of your prayer. Your prayer is valid. And another misconception among the sisters, they usually ask this question, and they say that, is it permissible for a woman during her menses to remove her pubic hair? And the answer is yes. It has nothing to do with this at all. Amina, or Aisha that is, from Gambia.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Salam tullah.
Sheikh, Christmas is fast approaching, and as Muslims, some of us have relatives who are Christians. Is it good in Islam to tell your Christian neighbor or your Christian family member Happy Christmas or Happy New Year? Because some of the sects in the Gambia are condemning it.
Okay, I'll answer you inshallah.
My second question is, the last time I was asking about birthday celebrations, and you did answer it very well. But still there is a problem. Some people in the Gambia still have the belief that it's good because fasting is good. Instead of you calling a party, it's good for you to fast on the day of your birthday, or you call people to come and make dua for you. So I want you to elaborate more on it, because that day we were grouped in my house and some did not get it very clearly.
Okay, I will answer you inshallah. Aisha from the Emirates.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Salamullah.
Sheikh, I have one question. I want to know, actually, like when there are women walking outside together, like for example, one of them is properly covered and the other one is also covered but not properly, in the sense that she's wearing makeup, or she's not wearing the hijab in the right way, or she has too tight clothes. Now, is there like a ruling on this? For example, like, could I walk around with a woman who is not properly dressed in hijab? Is there any ruling about this?
Okay, I will answer you inshallah.
Okay, jazakallah khair.
Who's that? Aisha from Gambia says, what's the ruling on greeting the Christians, especially relatives and neighbors, on the event of Christmas or New Year's or Thanksgiving or Easter, whatever? It's very easy. The Prophet ﷺ had never ever celebrated or congratulated the disbelievers on their events, on their holidays, on their feasts and the likes. And the scholars say that this is not permissible for us as Muslims to either celebrate or even to congratulate, because we believe that these festivals and holidays are false. They are not true or correct because they follow a false religion in my belief. Therefore, it is totally prohibited to say Merry Christmas or Happy New Year. What happens if someone says to me, Merry Christmas? I said, thank you. That's it. And I wouldn't say, enjoy the holidays, or to you as well. Nothing of this sort. Now, would this be offensive? It might be. But this is my religion. See, at the end of the day, I have to draw the line. The things that I can do and the things that I cannot do, and this is part of the things that I cannot do. Muna from Saudi.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Assalamualaikum.
I follow Huda channel, and I want to thank you for the wonderful, fantastic programs. And I ask Allah to give you paradise for your great deeds.
Jazakumullah khair, and may Allah Azza wa Jal also reward you with paradise for your words of encouragement. And I hope that you always, inshallah, listen to us and benefit from these programs and also share it with others. Jazakumullah khair.
Thank you very much.
Jazakallah khair. Aisha from Gambia had a second question which was asked last week and I answered it. What is the ruling on fasting on the day of birthday? I said that the Prophet used to do that, alayhi salatu wasalam, when he used to fast every Monday, not once a year, but every week. So if someone was born, for example, on Tuesday and he wanted to do this, to fast every Tuesday, I would consider this to be an innovation. He said, the Prophet did it on Monday. He said, yes, you follow him by doing it on Monday. He said, but the Prophet used to fast the day of his birth. He said, yes, but there was a second reason for that. And the second reason was that he was born in it and he was first given the revelation on it. So being born on that day was not sufficient by itself because he became a prophet and a messenger on that specific day, which is a Monday. So if you have something like that, you may fast it as well. Otherwise, just stick with the day of Monday and Thursdays that the Prophet had told us, alayhi salatu wasalam. Aisha from the Emirates says, if a woman is abiding by the hijab and she is fully covered from head to toe, mashallah, only her eyes are exposed so that she can see the road, can she walk with someone who is not abiding by the hijab, wearing makeup and dressed in an inappropriate and un-Islamic way? The answer is no. By you who is Muslim, by you who are a committed Muslimah, wearing an Islamic attire, by walking with such a person, anyone would look at both of you and say, look at this hypocrite, walking with this sinful person in this way. Either she should walk alone or tell her to cover herself instead of exposing herself to the public like this. But going out with her, even if she's your sister, your friend, this is inappropriate, especially when you see this, and we do see this a lot in restaurants and malls. And you would say, how is this righteous and pious, committed Muslimah walking with such a person? If she wanted to give her da'wah in private. Don't walk in public places like this with her, and Allah Azza wa Jal knows best. We have a question from Aisha from the internet. She says, when more than one person enters a house, should each of them say Bismillah? Saying Bismillah, the majority of jurors say that this is part of the Sunnah. There are a number of things that you are recommended to say Bismillah, and among them is entering the house and exiting from the house. But entering the house, the hadith which was authenticated by Shaykh al-Albani in the beginning, but then he retracted that and said, no, it's da'if, which is Bismillahi walajna wa Bismillahi kharajna wa ala Allahi rabbina tawakkalna. At the beginning he said that this was authentic, but then when he checked it again, he came to know that it was not authentic. So just saying Bismillah and you give salam, assalamu alaikum, or as Abdullah ibn Umar says in Sahih al-Adab al-Mufrad, assalamu alayna wa ala ibadillah salihin, this inshallah does the job. Latifa from the Emirates. Latifa?
Yes?
Your question, please?
I had two questions, Sheikh.
Yes.
Assalamu alaikum. I'd like to know exactly, because my husband just passed away a few days ago. Now, how do I stay the Edda? How does it, the rules in these things?
Okay.
And the second one, he couldn't fast the last Ramadan. Is it possible for me to fast for him?
Why didn't he fast? Because of his illness?
He was sick.
Okay. I will answer you, inshallah.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Okay, Adnan says, if one prays tahajjud and after that Witr, and in the midst of praying Witr, the Fajr as the adhan happens, does one repeat the Witr after Ishraq, or that is sunrise, or does the previous one suffice where she hastened to finish it once he heard the adhan? If the adhan was called and you did not offer the bowing position, a ruku', and you know that the adhan is being called exactly on time, in this case, your witr is invalid and you have to do it after shuruq. But if you know that the muadhin, especially the one near your home, does the adhan like a minute or two earlier, in this case, you don't have to repeat it, inshallah. Latifa says that her husband died a few days ago. May Allah have mercy on his soul and join them together in paradise. She says, what to do in regards of iddah? If you're asking about the location where you should stay your iddah, the answer would be you should stay your iddah in the place or in the house of marriage. So the house that joined you and your husband, you have to spend the 4 months and 10 days there. Now, most likely you are working in the Emirates, so if he was with you in the Emirates, then alhamdulillah, you stay where you are and observe your iddah in that same or very same house. If you are working and they would not give you time off to observe your iddah, in this case you can go and work, providing that there is no haram in your work, and after work is done, you go back and stay in your home the whole time. You don't wear anything that is adorning, beautiful makeup, perfume, nice dresses, just the normal thing. Don't put any eyeliners or any mascara or any of this sort, and Allah Azza wa Jal knows best. His Ramadan that he had missed, if it he could not have the time to make up for it, he was sick and he was hoping to recover so that he would make up for the missed days of Ramadan, and he could not do that, then there is nothing on you or on him, alhamdulillah, and Allah would forgive him because he was unable to do that. If he missed it, though he had enough time to make some of it, in this case you may fast on his behalf. Hussein says, will the sirat in Islam happen after the Day of Judgment, after it is declared who will go to Jannah and Jahannam? Most likely that on the Day of Judgment, the people would be gathered in this huge area, all of them together for 50,000 years, a day of 50,000 years long. And after that, the disbelievers will all be thrown to hell. And the Muslims and the hypocrites, those who either are Jews who followed Musa, Christians who followed Jesus before the following prophet was came to them, these are considered to be Muslims. So they will all pass by the sirat and walk on it, which is thinner than the blade of, thinner than a hair and sharper than a blade of a razor. But their accountability took place before that. So now they know that we have this big much of sins and this big much of good deeds, and then they walk. Those who are saved will make it, and those who are bound to go to hell to be punished either for eternity or for a number of years or for a specific period of time, they will be caught up and they will fall in hell, and may Allah Azza wa Jal protect us all. Nabil says, I've heard that on the Day of Judgment, Allah will speak to His creation with no translator. What language would Allah be speaking with and the creation be speaking with? Akhi, this is a question that has no benefit to us. Like people ask us, the angels that come to us in the grave, the two angels, what will they be speaking? Some say, oh, they will be speaking in Hebrew. Some say in Arabic. Some say in Latin. What does it make any difference? Allah Azza wa Jal knows what they will be, it's the language that they will be speaking with. Allah would make them understand whatever He wants to convey to them. So asking such a question does not carry any weight at all. We have a question from Uladapu, and he says that there is also something called Secret Santa. In short, nowadays they call one another Secret Santa in the sense that I would give my friend a secret gift that is funny and that is humorous. No, this is not permissible. This is imitating the disbelievers in their festivals and celebrations. No matter how silly it is still part of celebrating it. Aisha from Gambia.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Samtullah.
I heard you the last time Islamically condemning the reading of Surah Al-Waqiyah. And I also want to know about, in difficult moments, people tend to read in Surah Al-Yasin. If you go to some household, you will see that the whole Quran, the Surah Al-Yasin pages will be so dirty because that's the only surah they are reading because of the concept that they have towards that surah. So I just want you to make some clarification with regards to reading that surah on Thursday nights and reading it at difficult moments in life so that at least we'll get a clear picture of it.
Okay. Aisha's question about Surah Yasin and some of the misconceptions that people have in her country regarding reading it on a specific night of the week and thinking that reciting it in the house has virtues to it. All of this is baseless and not authentic. Yasin has nothing authentic in the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ in its regard, and therefore it would be an innovation to recite it with an intention that is baseless in the Sunnah. Then you are bringing something that is new in Islam, and this is not permissible. The last question of today's episode, Abdullah says that when the Prophet ﷺ made hijrah and the kafirs were waiting outside his home, he took something and threw it in their faces of the disbelievers while reciting an ayah from Surah Yasin, and this blinded them. What did he throw, sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Sand, dirt, stones? It doesn't say. He took from the hasba, which can be a combination of small pebbles and sand, and he put some sand on their heads when they could not feel it, and he recited وَجَعَلْنَا مِن بَيْنِ أَيْدِيهِمْ سَدًّا وَمِنْ خَلْفِهِمْ سَدًّا فَأَغْشَيْنَاهُمْ, the ayah. So whether this is authentic or not, I do not know, but it's a famous story in the Seerah, and a lot of the things mentioned in the Seerah are not thoroughly looked into, and it's accepted because it doesn't have halal and haram in it, but it was mentioned in Al-Rahiq Al-Makhtoum, the seal nectar, and Allah Azza wa Jal knows best. This is all the time we have until we meet next week, same time. I leave you fi amanillah. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Allah is my heart's speech. Your mercy is what I beseech. Keeping